Hi everybody, it's Anthony here on Edge Power Tools, and I'm here today to clear up a little bit of confusion and not really understanding, I guess, the various ways that you can start a Google Meet. And I want to start off by saying it's not your fault. It's Google's fault. They've made it rather confusing. And so instead of kind of implementing an easy to understand, straightforward way of kind of adjusting some settings, they've kind of made a little bit of a roundabout way of getting things going. So I want to kind of walk you through what's happening here. Okay, so there's three ways that you can start up a Google Meet. And the first way that we generally start up a Google Meet is through Google Calendar. The second way is through using the Meet icon in your waffle or going to meet.google.com. And then the third way is the newest way, and that's starting a Meet directly through Google Classroom. And why the difference is, I don't know, but that's the short answer. The main thing is that Google Meet first started out kind of as part of Google Calendar, where you would send out an invitation, create an event, send out an invitation to others that you wanted to have join in your video conference, and select Google Meet as an option there. And then Google started kind of merging Hangouts and Meet, so that kind of developed the meet.google.com website where you could start one kind of on the fly. And then now, most recently, with lots of schools being out, they integrated it right into Google Classroom. So there's kind of an evolution of how Google Meet has evolved, and that's kind of why there's these three different ways. So I want to walk you through each of these different ways and how you would use these various ways. So the first way is through setting up an event in Google Calendar. And my caveat in this, as the slide as you just saw, is don't do this with students. So basically what you do is you set up an event. So say I want to set up a Google Meet for tomorrow at 4 p.m. I create an event. I give the title, and I'm going to click this big blue button here that says Add Google Meet Video Conferencing. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a link with this code of all sorts of different letters, and you can have up to 100 participants join with Google Meet. That's great. Invite whoever people that you want to do. Now, you don't want to do this with students, because the second that you send out the invitation, the meeting link becomes active. And so what that means is, even though this event isn't supposed to take place until tomorrow at 4 p.m., students, when they get this invitation, are able to click on the meeting link and join the meeting right now, the day before at 3:12 p.m., which is obviously not what you want them to do. Generally, we don't want the students to be in Google Meets unattended, especially in district accounts. So we don't want to use this as an option. This is a great option if you want to set up a meeting with colleagues or a meeting with a parent. You can definitely do it this way. I do this way all the time, but with students, you want to avoid doing it this way. Okay, so that's the first way, through Google Calendar. Okay, so the second way that you're able to set up a Google Meet is by either going into your waffle here and clicking on Meet, or by typing up in your address bar meet.google.com. And when you either of those things, you're going to be brought to your Google Meet dashboard. And what this is it shows you very simply where you can join or start a meeting, and it shows you what scheduled meetings you have today. So if you do have any kind of meetings that you've been invited to, they'll pop up underneath here, which is kind of nice and convenient. So the way to start a Google Meet from this platform is you're going to click on this big button here. Now, very important. When you get this next window here, join or start a meeting, enter the meeting code or nickname. To start your own meeting, enter a nickname or leave blank. As teachers, when you're inviting kids into these Google Meets, you want to always nickname the meetings. Okay, so you can call it your last name. I'll call it Amatrano. You can call it math. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but you need to give it a nickname. And what you're going to do is you're going to share the nickname with the students. You're not going to share the code. You're going to share the nickname with the students, so that when it's time for the Google Meet tomorrow at 4 p.m. or whenever it is that you have the Google Meet set up for, or whenever you want to have the Google Meet, you are going to say, kids, go to meet.google.com, click join a meeting, enter in the code Amatrano or math or whatever it is that you want to put in there. Okay, so when I put in this nickname Amatrano and click continue, I do get a meeting link. So I can share the meeting link if I wanted to do that. But again, you don't want to share the link too far in advance of the meeting, because the kids are going to get the meeting link and they're going to be able to hop right in there. And you don't want them to hop right in there. You want them to wait until the time is right. So here I am. See, it is named Amatrano, but once I join it, you will see that there is an actual link that's set up there for it too. Okay, so when you're inviting through Meet, you want to make sure that you give it a nickname, and that's and you want to share the nickname with the students, and then they'll join at the appropriate time. Okay, all right, and then the third way to do this is to go into Classroom. So here I am in sample class. All right, up at the top here, I've got my little banner, class title, class code, and you'll notice that I have the Meet link. Okay, and what this is this is the class meeting link. Okay, and you see the little eyeball here with the slash through it. It's not visible to students, so I don't have this visible to students. I can click on this link, I can share the link, and what it's doing is it's creating a nicknamed classroom automatically. The nickname is weird. It's coordinated with your class. Okay, so that is the nickname right there. So it's doing the same thing that that I just did from the meet.google.com website. It's only just doing it through Google Classroom. Okay, which is nice. So anyway, so it's not visible to the kids. So I can take this and I can copy it, and I can paste it. And I can say, hey guys, tomorrow at 4 p.m. we are going to have a meet. Here's the code. Or here's the link, I guess. It really is not code. Okay, so here's the link. Post. I should be able to post that, and the kids are going to be able to click on that, but they're not going to be able to get into the class early. They shouldn't be able to get into the class early. Okay. Again, I always err on the side of caution. I wouldn't post this. I wouldn't post the link if I were actually doing this with students. I would just say, hey guys, tomorrow at 4 p.m. we're going to have a meet. Sign on to Google Classroom 5 minutes ahead to get the code. So then I know that 10 minutes ahead of the time, I'm going to log into Google Classroom. I'm going to get the class up and running. I'm going to be the first person in there, so I'm going to know that there's nobody else in there. Then I'm going to post the code. Once I know that it's up and running, I'm going to post that. Kids are going to join in there, all good to go, and your life is wonderful. You're also going to make sure that you're the last person out. Okay, so you're not going to leave the meeting with students still in the meeting. You want to be the last person out. Once you leave the meeting, when you set up a meet through Google Classroom, within 3 to 5 minutes after you leave, the meeting shuts down. And even if the kids have the code, they're not going to be able to get into it. Okay, so obviously Google implemented this because they found out that kids go into meetings unsupervised when they shouldn't be. So anyway, this is their kind of what they did to kind of combat that. All right. There's lots of pollen out here. Okay, so I got some frequently asked questions I want to go over with you too. Okay, question number 1. What about starting a meet from Gmail? That's a great question. Recently, because Google is super proud of its new product, it rolled this out to everybody and it started kind of plastering it everywhere. So now Google Meet is embedded into Gmail here, so you can start a meeting or join a meeting from your Gmail. This is similar to meet.google.com. When you click on start a meeting. Okay, so when I click on start a meeting from Gmail, it's not going to give me the option to give a nickname, which is a no-no. We don't want to start a meeting without a nickname because we want to make sure that kids can't enter ahead of time and kids can't stay in it after we're done. So when I click on start a meeting here in Gmail, it's going to open up a brand new meet session. I don't have an option to give it a nickname. It's just getting it ready, and I'm going to be ready to join. Bam. Okay, so join now. So that's fine if you're, again, doing something with a colleague, you want to set up a meeting on the fly, that's totally fine. You can do that. If you have a meeting code that you got from a colleague or from somebody else, you can click join a meeting and join a meeting from there. So no, you don't want to set up meetings with students from your Gmail. Second question is, what if students start their own meet? Students should not be able to start their own Meet, especially with their school account. They don't have the ability to start up a Meet using their school account, so that's not a worry. The only way that they'd be able to be in a Meet using their NPS account, using their school account, is if they received a code ahead of time. So that's if you maybe mistakenly sent out an invitation, a calendar invitation, and invited a student that way. That's the only way that they could get into a Meet ahead of you, is if they had an actual code, which, like I said before, is not what you want to do. All right, can kids enter the Google Meet before me? So this goes along with the same question we had before. They will not be able to go into a Google Meet before you unless they have a code. So unless they were invited from a Google Calendar invitation, they're not going to be able to enter in a meeting before you. What happens if you get kicked out, is the next question. So what happens if you get kicked out of a meeting? If you get kicked out of a meeting, then don't worry about it. Just rejoin it, and you should be able to rejoin it no problem, and then just continue as you were. Your kids might get confused, but it's not a big deal. You might need to restart your computer, whatever, because sometimes things happen, and that's the way it goes. But don't worry about it. Don't stress out about it. It's all good. Last question, should I wait until all students are out of the Google Meet to end it? Yes, you should always wait until all students are out, and feel free to kick them out. If they are hanging around and you have things to do, say, hey guys, it's time to go. I hope you guys have a great day, and then just go through your participants list and click that little do not enter sign button within each of those pictures. When you hover over a student, you'll see the do not enter sign. You can click on that, and that will kick out the participant. So you can definitely do that, and I would encourage you to do that. Get them all out, and then you end the meeting. And like I said before, within 3 to 5 minutes, they won't be able to re-enter that meeting at all, because it'll be completely shut down. All right, so that's about it for Google Meet. I think I covered pretty much everything. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I'm happy to help anytime, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Have a great day. Bye.